Hey everybody, welcome to our Tuesday night Zoom call. It is Tuesday, April the 5th, and we're real excited that you are joining us tonight because, one, we are celebrating our new fully integrated executive director, and we're celebrating a senior coach, and we're going to celebrate another coach who made a big record in her frontline volume. And then we're going to talk about a contact list and how to create one, why they're important, and some of the other foundations that go in to creating not only a successful business, but a successful business is a stable business. And we want to have everything really solid in order to be able to expand, grow, and impact people's lives. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Liz Hilton. I'm going to go ahead and fully integrated means that you are now supporting 5 senior coaches. Your frontline volume is over 6,000, and you have a group volume of 15,000. So you're well on your way to creating a really solid business that provides stability for you and your family, and also is able to impact many more lives. You're impacting lives of people you don't even know, and that's a really cool thing. So Liz, I know it doesn't happen by accident. So will you please tell us how you started growing and what your vision was for yourself?
Well, thanks, Susan. It's a great question because we all have sort of some hopes in there, but when we get more concrete about them, it's like with the 5-in-1. When we help a client get more concrete about them, it seems to help move it forward. And I can't really describe what that energy is or how that happens. It's one of those mystical mystery things I think God does. But the 2 things that I really think happened, first off, 3 things. The first thing that happened is the map was really helpful to me to get concrete. And in March was the first month that I actually completed the map from beginning to end, just as it was recommended to do in the video. So crystallizing it that way helped me really see where to focus my time. And I worked smarter, not harder in March. And then the second thing that happened that really was driving energy was the boot camps. When the boot camps started to be offered, and I started with that, we had our first one March 26th, and I was really close to being integrated then. But just knowing that there is a structure to plug into, and to then see how much more easily what we do is duplicatable and didn't require me to invest and recreate the wheel, it just freed up energy. And again, I don't know how that happened. I wish I could say that, but what I know is by plugging myself into the system, I found more energy and I found more action steps that helped me stay on task. The third thing that happened, and really this is the most important thing, is the energy of my coaches. The 5 senior coaches we all know that integrated means you're helping more people. And I couldn't do that without their energy turning and moving forward. And so they really are the ones that are recognized in that integrated designation more so than I am, because they're the ones that stepped into it and started living into their own authority as coaches and as senior coaches. So those are the 3 things that I really, looking back on, think shifted in March for me, were using the map, tapping into the energy of the boot camps, and then encouraging that energy, but really my coaches stepping into their own authority in March and supporting their clients.
Wow, great. Kristen, can you you had a comment and you had a question. Tell me what resonated with you about what Liz said. Can you unmute yourself, or do you want me to unmute you? Yeah, you got it.
Hear me?
Yeah.
I'm on my for me, as in the past, I'm a very visual learner, so being to it allows me to make it happen, essentially. You know, you can sit there and think you've talked to everybody today. As I was making my contact list, I thought, oh gosh, there's no way I'm going to have even 50 people. I've done 106. I'm not even done. So
Great.
it just allows you to see what needs to be done. And I check things off as perfect for me.
Well, thank you, Kristen. That's so powerful. You're absolutely right. And I think I'm muting you. Nod if you've experienced that, you know, in your own business with either the boot camp or using the map. I mean, it's definitely, and even, you know, biologically, we create chemicals when we write something down and accomplish it. You know, we're getting a hit of dopamine. So our bodies, our brains love accomplishing things, and these little things, we get little hits of dopamine. So it's kind of cool how that works, but it is so solid. And I'm so grateful that we have this opportunity to be in this boot camp together. The training we're getting, guys, is so good. I mean, you couldn't even pay for that. I mean, you have to pay a lot of money for the training that we're getting. It's so good, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But Terry Rostek, can you please, I'm going to unmute you because it looks like you're on the phone, and can you share with us, okay, just your new senior coach, can you share with us a little bit about what you had fun with and, you know, how it's been going for you?
I'm really enjoying, you know, helping the girls that I've started to help, and I've already started planting the seed for a new person to think about when she sees the results to become a coach. I can see this girl doing that, and I think that she would really benefit. And one of the things that I learned from watching the video from the boot camp was about how there's so much untapped things that you're going to get from this experience with Take Shape for Life. They mentioned that you get into it for the weight loss, but there's so much more to offer. What the offerings are, that's what the key word was, the offerings, which is the business part. And what I've started doing that's just new for me is that I started posting on Facebook my own personal before and after pictures. And I'm letting people know that I'm taking ownership, and that by helping them, it's helping me stay true to the course. And right.
Wow. That's awesome, Terry. And that's so really cool that you shared that, because I was talking to another coach today, and she was saying that one of her new clients didn't want anyone to know about it, that she was doing
right.
it because we're always afraid we're going to fail. And this coach goes, well, that's one way you can do it. Or can I make another suggestion? I'm like waiting to hear what she's going to say, because I think this is a really good thing, you know, and she did say, you know, you can get people to support you, because when you can kind of let yourself down sometimes, but if you have, you know, have a buddy to go with you, or if you have other people supporting you, you're more likely to follow through. So I thought that was great. It sounds like that's exactly what you're doing, Terry.
I also made my list when I was waiting for the video to start on, it was just the other day, I forget which day it was. I made my list in about 15 minutes. I compiled the 100 names. And I know that with the Facebook access, you can go to each friend and look at their friends, and it's endless tapping into, like, that was a great insight. Now I just am waiting for the next part for them to tell me what to do with it, because I understand about, you know, commenting and about how not everybody can see you on Facebook. And I'm learning a lot, you know, and I am a salesperson, so I'm learning a lot of different things. You can always learn something new. And I do believe that the number one reason why people do not try things is because they're afraid of failure, just like you said. And in the beginning, I did not want anyone to know that I started this program either, because people wouldn't, for one thing, people wouldn't invite me out because they thought that, why bother, because she's on a diet. So I just stopped telling people. And then when I got myself acclimated on the plan after a good month, a couple weeks, then a month, you just start going out and you enjoy, and people see you enjoying it, and you just stay on the plan, and they've seen the end result. I've lost 53 pounds, so it's wonderful. Thank you.
Well, thank you for inspiring so many people, and and doing it, and kind of on this journey with us, because your story is a great one, and thank you for being brave and bold. And I love that. Yeah, the more to come. We can always learn something. So I'm excited for the next step. Susan Smeltzer just joined us. She's the one I was talking about. Susan, I was just talking about you. So anyway. All right. So Dee Corchin, you have been a leader on this team for so long, and even you surprised yourself this month. I mean, even it can always get better. So it's really cool. You hit over $20,000 frontline volume. I know March is a long month. March is a lot of things come together. Nonetheless, would you please share a little bit about, what contributed to this, really explosion? You always have a high frontline volume, but anyway, will you share with us?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I think in a lot of ways, just a lot of stars aligned for the month of March, which was really cool. But I tell you, it was exciting. I mean, after a while, I would call Larry and oh my gosh, come look at this. But I really believe I had set my intention at the after the first of the year that I had always had my frontline volume around 10 to 12,000. A couple times had gone beyond that, but I just decided, I'd heard somewhere along the way that 15,000 was a magic number, because oddly enough, my real focus is on reaching more coaches, because to really, really grow and reach more people, I can only do so many myself. So, but I heard that 15,000 was a magic number. So I had reached it, exceeded it, then dropped back. And so, but I think because my intention has been there, that's why it was going that way. And oddly enough, my real focus in the month of March was talking to a lot of people about coaching. So I think the fact, for what a lot of people have already said, I did put the MAP process in place. So I had a very clear visual of people that I was talking to. I've always had a really consistent follow-up process. So for me, people I spoke to in December, people I spoke to in January that they were going to try on their own, I don't drop those people. I follow up with them. So I had people come back to me that, we're then ready. It's March. They haven't gotten the results they wanted. So I had that happen. Had a few people come back. But I think at the end of the month, it was all added up to 9 new clients. But I was in action a lot. In addition to that, I had was just looking at all the activity I'd done. I'd gone to Florida to do an event with Debbie down in Jacksonville, and while that didn't directly relate to anything, I spent the whole drive down, the whole drive back on the phone talking to people. I maximized my time. The following day, we had a March meeting for health coaching. I invited a lot of people to that. We had the incentive trip. So I think I was just engaged. We just did the webinar last Tuesday night. So I was just talking to people, reaching out, inviting. And I think that that's where the attraction came. I had structure around it, but it mostly just came from a lot of action.
Well, that's so good, because, when you were talking about all the things you had, all of those things can take you away from your business, and you didn't let that. The incentive trip, the, going out of town, and really, max that intention, that focus really was very cool. I really love what you said about the magic number, 15,000, and at different levels, there's a magic number. But I definitely think, even for new coaches, when you're kind of reaching out there, I know it's a long way away, but 8,000 is a really good number, and I'll tell you why. Or, even 6,000, whatever, 6,000 to 8,000, even 10. When your frontline volume is high enough, you can look at people as people and not as orders. You can do what's in the best interest of them. You can say, you're not ready for this right now. You're not looking for anything. Because this great saying, if what is it? If I need you, I can't serve you. If you need someone, you can't serve them. So we need clients to make our business, but we don't need any one client. And if you can have a full, abundant practice, coaching business, you don't need any one person, and you can be of service. You can walk different, you can talk different, and look what happens. You get rained on clients. Rained on. When you go out of town, you get rained on. Clients come falling from, the sky, basically. So it is that kind of what Liz opened up with, that focused action, and yet miracles happen. So it's really it's a very cool dynamic. And having a full patient base is really part of that. So I love that. Thank you, Dee. Okay, so we've got the lists, creating our contact list. Now, I have to say that, sometimes we just barrel in, and just write down a few people and call them, and then we're done. We can't think. How many times have you heard or thought yourself, I don't know anybody else to talk to? And I've never had that. But one of the things, I love the intentionality and the structure around creating a list. I posted a video of Becca Tinter, and I really highly recommend you guys. It's on Team Palace. Please watch it, not only for just how to make the list and how to think about your list, but she really talks about how to posture, that we have something, you have more to offer somebody than you're going to get. And I think that is a huge way of looking at it. Sometimes we go out and we want to get somebody, we want to get a client. But really we have, and Terry said it earlier, we have an offering. And they will get way more than we do. And that goes for clients, and that goes for coaches too. We do not, if our coaches do well, as a sponsoring coach, no matter, I will never make more than my coaches make. So my support for them is about them, not for me. And that's what we want to look at with our clients too. We're supporting them with what they need. And it's a really cool thing. So Julie Apple, I asked you, I said, Julia, did you do a list? And Julie said, yeah, actually I did. So Julie, will you share with us a little bit about how you got started in this business with your list?
Yeah, I think when Susan called me, it was funny because I still have it from my first notebook. I'm a kind of person, I write down everything. And so when I first started coaching about a year ago, I had this notebook right here, and I started just writing down, it says possible clients, and I just started writing all the possible people that I wanted to be able to help. And so I had a list that I started, and I just thought about all of the people that I had trained in the past, all my friends at church, people that I had worked with in the past at different offices, people where I volunteer, church, all these different places. I just started going through and thinking about all the people that I know needed help and that were desperate for somebody to come alongside them. And so I just literally took the top 10, and those were the first people. When Dee and I talked last year, she's like, don't worry, if it gets messy, I'll help you. And so I just started reaching out to them and started talking with them about doing the program. And they just, it happened so quickly. People just started jumping on, and I literally, for the first few months, I just kept that list handy, and that's who I talked with. I just kept talking and connecting with every single person on there. And then you can see, you probably can't see it, but I basically had check marks by every single person. I was like, okay, they jumped on program, and I wrote, when did they start? And then I wrote, if I talked to them, I would talk to them this date. So I'm the kind of person, I write everything down, because when there's so many details, I can't remember everything. So I write everything down. So I still go back to that list now, because not all of them have become clients, but I planted seeds a year ago, and so there's still people I can follow up with. So that list has been a gift, because it's got everybody listed. So now it just keeps growing.
So that's great. I love that. And let's go a little further, kind of what Terry said. So when you called this person, when you go to the list, what did you say? When you called the people on your list, you were a new health coach, so you didn't have much experience. You really didn't have a weight loss story yourself. So take it one step further. And what did you say to these people?
Well, I have the advantage of being a trainer. So a lot of the people that actually started initially were people that I was already training and that had not seen results from the training, and that people were working out like crazy and weren't seeing results. So a lot of my conversations were related to that of, I know we've been training and I know you're not seeing the results you want. And that was part of the reason I started coaching, is because I wanted a tool for my clients, because so many of them, we were getting really frustrated with their results. So this was the absolute perfect fit, because it just led right in. I told them, I said, I've started coaching this program called Take Shape for Life, and I know that if you follow it, you'll get results on the scale. And I said, I know all this training we're doing is you're happy, you're stronger, you're feeling better that way, but you're not seeing the scale change. And this is going to help you get that. And so sure enough, that's kind of why people started jumping on, and then they saw the results they wanted.
Well, that's brilliant, because I think we can all see how we know people that have tried, even though if we're not the trainer. We know people that we've talked to about our weight or talked to about something, then they haven't gotten results. And we all know those, we had diet buddies or, people in our lives that, we used to talk to about things like that. And so I think that's great. Does everyone see how that could help with what she said? This is so natural and easy. I love that. Has anyone else had experience with, thanks, Julie. Has anyone else had experience with the list? Michelle, creating your list. Marsha? I can unmute you. Would you like me to unmute you? Okay. Go ahead. Yes.
I have a list, and I have 35 people on it so far.
Nice.
I went to my phone. I just started going through my phone, and I thought, if you're in my phone, it's because I need to talk to you, just to say hello and see what's going on. And for me, MAP is Marsha's action plan.
Like that.
So, and action begets action. I've been making calls and reaching out to people and going to places. And today somebody from 3 years ago placed an order. And
so Marsha, what shifted?
Yeah.
You've been doing this a long time. So what shifted? Just watching the video and being more intentional, like those people were now on your list, weren't on your list, and kind of Kristen alluded to it too. Like having the visual, having, this intention and focus on the list that wasn't there before, and now it is. So what shifted for you to start adding people to your list now?
I keep seeing people getting sicker, and I just can't believe that I'm just letting them get sick and not reaching out just to say hello. People I used to work with, people who I see on Facebook who have gained 100 pounds since I used to work with them. One of the people I used to work with, she just put on Facebook that she got home from the hospital, she had a stroke. And I don't feel like I'm actually sharing the opportunity that I've had given to me. No matter what's going on in my life, to me, my connection with life is helping people. And it's a part of nursing that'll always be in me, but it's a healthy type of nursing in that I'm not telling people what they need to do. I'm asking them what they want. And I realized I have so much experience from doing so many things, and I've lived in so many places. There's nothing better out there. And if I don't offer it, maybe it'll save somebody's life, and shame on me for not helping them. It's not about me. It's not personal. And today when I contacted the client that, decided she was going to order, I said, now I'd like to help you set up your goals, and let me know when you're going to start. And she told me, and I said, okay, I have this day and this day available at these times, because like you, I run a business. And so I set appointments. So which appointment would you like? And I had really never done that before. And right away she said, oh, I'll take this day and this time. And I said, okay, I have you down. I'll send you a welcome letter and we'll talk next week. Thank you very much. And that was it. It took like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, I love that story, Marcia. That's so great. I mean, when it is interesting what stops us when we do have a way for people, and what gets in our way of sharing that. So I love that. Anybody else have experience with a list? What I do, I wanted to share with you, a notebook. I have to have things, if they're out of my sight, they're out of my mind. So when I had a notebook, and I do have a notebook, I'd close it, and then I would, every time we'd have an event, I'd open it up and see who I haven't talked to in a while or reached out to. So what I did was I started a clipboard, because I can keep a clipboard on my desk, and I can pile things on, but I can still get to it very easily. And I just, it's many pages and pages and pages. And sometimes I'll rewrite, if someone's way to the back, I'll rewrite, and they're in my mind again, kind of like what Dee was saying, someone from last summer who still hasn't, gotten their results, they'll come to the front of the page. So I don't know if this would help anybody, but this helps me keep it in front of me. Dee, you were saying, do you have anything that keeps, because you're really good at follow-up, so where do you keep these people you follow up with on your list?
Well, there's kind of two different things. The one thing most people would think I'm a structured person, but then a lot of times you look at my desk and you're like, what? I am with my free clients. I do fill out one of those well-being trackers for everybody I speak to about the program, and they get 3-hole punched, and they're in the front of my binder. And those are the ones that I go through like once a week or so. And like Julie, I have notes about when I last followed up with them, what my last contact was. So that's how I keep people that I have spoken to about the program or coaching. That's where they go. Where I would drop the ball a lot is the people that pop in your mind, like, I really need to talk to Christy about this for whatever piece of the puzzle we might think might be a fit for them. So what I was more of, and I took these out because I keep them all, but I mean, I had tons of little like index cards, front and back, of names that would pop into my mind. So not the best system, but it would somewhat keep me focused. And I would just have them around my desk. So I really like this contact list. And in fact, as we were just sitting here, it popped up in the corner of my screen that somebody liked one of my Facebook pictures. And I haven't seen or heard from that person. She was a former jazzercise instructor for like 3 or 4 years. And I'd always meant to talk to her. I guess I never had her name written down. So just the fact that happened, I was able to put her down as like number 49 on my list. So now I have a structured place to put them. So I'm very excited about this.
Awesome. Well, we're going to, the contest this week, Friday night, 6 o'clock, 50 names, snap a picture, email, text it to me, and then your mentor coach. And we will, and then I'll do a drawing. If you do 100 names, two entries. Kristen, I don't know if what we're gonna do with you. We might have to. I'm gonna have to think. I don't want to dilute it too much, but just keep going. Just keep going. And then we'll do a drawing, and so we'll see how that goes. And then tuning in. Those of you that can tune into the boot camp, do. Those of you that aren't yet at the boot camp, we'll share a lot of stuff with you. All the stuff that we learn, we'll put on Team Palace, and. So we're real excited. Any other questions, comments? All right. Well, good night, everybody. Thanks for being on the call. Great to see everybody. And let's go get America healthy.
Good night.
Good night. Yeah, baby.